I'll look for an out around 10 minutes.
Okay.
Uh, I'm gonna put us up on. This will go on Facebook, and then I'll tell you. I go through the number of suggestions we have, and then you just pick a number,
Yep.
and then yeah, and then that's it.
It's
Uh,
been really hard to not look. I'm excited to see what's there.
well, if you had looked, I could also mix them up. I'm trying to get a system in with where I could put the suggestions in a random generator.
You
And
can always put in, randomizer.org.
put like a list in there.
You can just put the numbers. You can just put number 1 to 24, and then it gives you a random number, and then you just do the counting.
Oh, I like that. I like the randomness of also of having the guests selected.
There you go.
All right, let's see. We have oh, you pick a number between 1 and 31.
Ooh, that's a
I
lot of.
know, right?
I'll go with 18.
Oh,
I just gave you a lot to count, didn't
no,
I?
that's perfect. I'm getting better and faster at it. We've had a lot of suggestions fall in the 17, 18, 19 range, which is great.
I noticed and I said that I wouldn't do that, so, but I did it.
It's perfect. It comes from our friend Monica Ozdarska, who is in Poland. And the suggestion is zip.
Mm.
Yeah, it's stuck.
No, I'm pretty sure I've got it. It's just, it gets all funny sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's real. It's like right. It's not quite closed. If you, but it's stuck. It might be stuck on like the shirt or something.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of skin in there, but it's
Ow!
okay.
Yeah, you're bleeding. You're bleeding. You keep tugging it, and then it just keeps getting on your skin there. Maybe
It's
just don't
fine.
tug it. I don't know.
I mean, the only way is up, isn't it?
For sure. I say go for it. I say like maybe just give one big yank, and then you'll be done.
Oh boy.
No. Oh,
Hmm.
hey. You know what? We got plenty of time. Yeah, we got at least half hour. So, uh, whatever you want to do. If you want to like give it a break and then try it again.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that because yeah, I'll just do that. Good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea. I'm excited to go out onto the slope with you.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Like I've been looking forward to this all month.
I've been practicing my jumping on the the thing that takes you up the mountain.
Yeah, the lift.
The lift.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, it's so obvious. Yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes like the obvious things like are the hardest things to think about. And then if you can't remember what it is, then it's not going to come to you because you're putting so much pressure on trying to remember that. And then the easiest thing will just it's gone.
I spent so much time trying to find the word for blister the other day. I even Googled tiny bag with water in it on foot.
I mean, that sounds like it's a better term.
I think it might be, but Google seemed to think I want to purchase,
A bag.
one of those bags that you use when you have pain and
Oh,
you put water.
oh. They're
Maybe
going to start sending ads. They're going to start popping up about buying those bags because you did a search on it.
isn't it a bit creepy when that happens? It's
It's
like
a lot creepy.
you might think you're alone, especially in these times, but the internet is always there with you and it will respond even if you don't ask it.
Yeah, I think that's like it's positioned to us like that's the price for that convenience and that access to information. Because whenever you go on a site and whenever you ask, for information, they'll sign you up for a mailing list, they'll gather your information, go any of those searches. And I'm not a conspiracy nut, but I think any of those searches are logged and kept.
You think there's like a mountain of our data somewhere?
Yeah, it's like the cloud.
It's a tall mountain.
It's it's a very, very tall mountain.
Do you think the internet people ski down it out of joy?
Wow.
They have all their games and stuff.
I think they do. I mean, what else would you do if you had that information?
I'd probably send people gifts because I'd know what they want.
Well, yeah, because see, you'd use it for good. You're not evil. And
I'm a little evil.
I mean, everybody's got a little evil in them, don't? What's the most? Okay, not the most evil. What's like the fifth most evil thing you think you've done, or like tenth
Oh
most
my
evil?
God.
Like not the worst thing, and not even like top five, but like 10th most, like what you would consider, because it's also what you would consider evil.
I, I buried these so deep that I'm gonna have to do some digging.
I know what mine is. I
Oh,
know.
okay. What's yours? What's yours?
When I was 7, my neighbor Andy and I were best friends, and we're still good friends to this day. Uh, his sister Jody and my sister Michelle were about the same age, and so we were 7 or 8 years old, and we were pretending to have a date, and they were like 9. They had to be 9 or 10, and so we brought them glasses of water. But now, what if I tell you this, I mean, I don't know if this will change anything. I was a young kid, so hopefully this doesn't change your view on me, but I guess I have no control over that. So I don't think it was a real evil thing, but okay. So once I tell you this, then there are 9 things that could be worse, because I told you this is like the 10th. But anyway, I'm just going to say it.
Just say it. I'll still love you afterwards.
Um, we instead of water, we put vinegar in the cups.
Oh,
Yeah, and then they took a drink, and they were like, "Ew!" But like I was a kid, and vinegar isn't toxic. It wasn't like I put something bad in it. But I look back, and I'll be honest, like I look back at that moment, and I'm like, "Why did we do it?" Like, what? I guess we thought it would be funny, but it was like so not funny. And now I'm like, I couldn't imagine doing that. But back then, that was something that I did. So like that's the 10th thing I would consider like evil, is something like that.
I mean, it was a hot summer day. You gave them liquid. It's
Right.
not hydration, right?
Right. I gave him liquid and hydrate. Oh, see, okay, good. I was very nervous. I started telling the story, and I was like, oh, I no, I can't. Oh man, Mia is going to change her opinion on me. But then I was thinking, that's more a
Never.
reflection on me, not you. You're a good person. Like that was all in my head. So,
I'd never change my opinion of you. You know,
oh,
you're my favorite neighbor. I have only gone skiing with 2 other neighbors.
really? Wow. And I mean, I know how much you love skiing.
I love skiing, and I don't love many of my neighbors,
No.
but I do love you, and I did love Miriam and
Oh,
Joe.
oh. That
It's
puts me in
because
good. No, what?
it's 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 the little things. It's because you know to leave the chute open
I mean, it just
when
makes
you
sense.
throw out your garbage, because you know that I'll be next because we have the same garbage disposal day.
And we have the
And I
same.
don't have to touch, you know, I'm a germaphobe, so I don't have to touch that handle because you did it for me.
Yeah. I mean, it just makes sense. I know you're going to come down right after me. So why would I like close it knowing that you're going to put it down the chute? I mean, wow.
The little things.
It's the, you know what? It's the little things.
It is the little things.
You know, I mean, oh yeah, I mean, you definitely have caught yourself there. But it's close. It's not all the way up, but it's close to being all the way up. So is it
The
going to
best I'll
bother?
get. Probably not.
I mean, if you put your scarf around,
Right. See? You just know what I need.
you know what? I picture the 10th most evil thing that you've done is
Okay.
probably, if I had to guess, it would be something like, oh, once I drank most of the milk and then I didn't right away buy a container of milk. And then whoever you were living with at the time, like they still had enough milk to drink or to use, but you were like, I should have prepared. I knew I was coming to the end of the milk container. Like that's what I think in your list of 10, that to you is like, oh, that's the worst because you did something that affected someone else.
You know, I'm actually in that situation at the moment, but with bread instead of milk. I saw that there are 2 more slices left of the good bread. We have the heavy rye bread
Yeah,
that no one really likes, but they eat it and we have it for a long time because it
yeah,
just doesn't go bad.
yeah, yeah.
But I was really hungry and I had such a nice salad and I really wanted the nice bread. So I took the last 2 slices and I didn't go buy more.
Oh, see, there's still bread, but not the good bread.
No. And I know that when you'll get hungry later, you'll crave the good bread, but the shop is closed because it's only open for 2 hours a day. And I'm sorry in advance.
Well, here's the thing, it kind of takes away from the evilness because you prepared me going into it. And so I know not to want that kind of bread. So even when you're faced with a situation that could be evil, you still find a way to not make it so.
Well, I learn from the best, don't I? Yeah, that is you. It's really handy to have that little window that sees right into your living room.
My place.
Yeah,
Was
because
that
I
arrogant?
can.
I was like this. I was like, oh, it was I didn't.
No, not no. No, you just felt your heart because it probably got really warm with
Yeah,
recognition.
that's what it was.
I see you, you know, I look in and I take notes. I see you close the fridge while you put milk in your coffee
Yeah, it
and
doesn't
then
make
open
sense.
it again and put the milk back.
Yeah, why would you leave it open?
Some people do. Some people do, Jeremy. I've seen it.
Oh, what?
Sometimes they have entire conversations with the fridge door open.
That's just a waste of energy.
Yeah, well, I I have to admit that those those people annoy me.
Oh, good. I thought you were going to say you did it. Okay, good. Yeah, yeah, it's okay. I think it's annoying too.
I was building up to it.
No.
You did it.
Oh, no.
I saw you do it and I got so angry. I ripped the paper out of my notebook in which I took down all the good habits. I would reenact that I saw you do. And,
Oh, no.
and I brought you onto this ski trip to tell you that. But I thought maybe I'd tell you while we're up there on the lift, because they say it's easier to confront people if you're sitting next to each other rather than making direct eye contact. But maybe this will make us stronger, Jeremy.
Well, if it had come from anyone else, I might have been offended, but I'm not offended because I know where your heart is. I promise. I think this is the Boy Scout. I was never a Boy Scout, but I promise to do better.
This must be the Girl Scout.
Promise to do better. Hey, thanks for telling me. I bet that takes a lot of courage.
Thank you. I've done many things to avoid confrontation in my life. But you make it easy. And that's a big deal.
Scene.
Oh,
How was that?
oh.
Right?
Peppered with, yeah, peppered
Uh,
with a bunch of real stuff, like always when you get to play with Jay.
oh, that story is with Andy is absolutely true. That is 100% happened, and I felt bad right afterwards. I was like, I was
Oh,
so young, and I'm like, why did we do that? Like you broke a certain amount of trust to play some sort of prank, and I'm like, man, I remember thinking like, I don't like how that felt. It was so
hmm.
bad.
Yeah, we did a lot of similar stuff when we were kids.
Yeah.
I remember mixing all sorts of expired liquids we found at one summer, and we were like, when our neighbor is asleep, we're gonna walk into his house and make him drink it. Why?
Because
So,
it gives you something to do.
yeah.
As kids,
Yeah.
you're like, I think you're just trying to stave off what you see as boredom.
We really went into it though. We went out and bought all black clothes
Oh
to
no.
pretend we're ninjas. Uh, and then I think one evening we sort of jokingly mentioned it to our parents, and they were like, "Well, why would tell me more about your thought pattern
Yeah.
here?"
When were you planning to do this? And you've already purchased the clothing, huh?
Yeah.
Uh, well, it's so fun. We've played a couple times together,
Mm.
and it's always fun playing with you. I think yeah, it was when I was over in Copenhagen. We got to play together a whole bunch, which was like super fun, and like it's just so easy, and there's no sense of like desperation, which is the best part of it.
Same, Jay, honestly. Doing those shows with you and just having you guide me from quite early on in my improv journey has been so helpful. I was sitting here today just being like, so Jay does this thing where he says all these nice thought out things about everyone. I'll just I'll just sit and think about him a bit. And I think the thing I'm most grateful for that you do is that you're so committed to serving the improv community. And
Mm.
I'm so grateful I got to be such a direct sort of beneficiary of that. I mean, I lip synced. I would have never lip synced if it wasn't for you.
Oh my God, those shows, those lip sync shows that we did were so great. They were so fun.
They were, and I would have never thought of it. And that's what you do. You just listen so hard on and off stage, and then you're like, I know what a fun thing would be for this person to try out so they can
Yes.
grow in a direction that they maybe need some improvement in. It's just,
Oh, thank you. I mean, it's really nice to hear, and it's really interesting to look back at that time for me and to say, like, what an opportunity! What an opportunity to go somewhere and meet so many people, and we had known each other for a couple of years because I would go to the festivals and we would see each other then. And then when I was there for an extended period of time, it was like, oh, you were one of the people I wanted to perform with because I saw how you were on stage, and I was like, oh, I like that style. I like that style you bring, and those like those unique choices that you would make in shows were always really interesting to me.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for creating the space for me
Oh,
to bring even more of these choices. There's
are you?
no hiding when there are only two people.
No, right? What was one of our suggestions? Jalapeno Farm, I think, was one of them. We were
Oh,
jalapeno
I
farming.
can't wait. Oh, yes. Yes. I remember that show, and we were picking these jalapenos. Yes.
Yeah. And you were talking about your parents who were so old they were in their 40s.
And they're old. Yeah, yeah. And
They're old.
everyone laughed, and I didn't realize why they're laughing until I looked to my right, and I was like, oh no, Jay's
That
in his
was the best.
40s.
That was the best. And then I think I said something like, "Yeah, I'm," like everyone was laughing, and then I waited. And I go, "Yeah, I'm 29," and then it was like a second laugh hit because everyone was like,
Yes.
"No way, dude. There's no way."
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, are,
But you
are,
can be anyone in improv, so.
no, for sure. And I was talking about that with a couple students the other day who are older, and it's like they get pigeonholed because we look at people physically on stage, and so we default right to that. Oh, you're older, so then you're the dad or the grandmother or the older sister, versus like, no, in improv it can be anything, and so it's more thrilling for people to play against what they look like, age wise, to play against that rather than always playing that. There's nothing wrong with playing dads or grandmas, but at a certain point people want to play different as well. Like you, it's watching you play somebody older is really fun too. So like not sticking people into those positions based on just appearance.
Yeah, I like playing frat boys also.
Oh my god, yo yo, you come out, you're like yo yo yo.
Oh, it's so fun. And you automatically take up more space with your
Yeah,
body. It's,
yeah.
yeah.
Are you doing a lot of shows? I mean, you've done a couple shows online, but what about your group? Are they still getting together and doing things, or like how are you handling it now?
We had a mini reunion with Standard Deviation when
Yeah.
this all began and everyone wanted to Zoom all the time. But
Yes.
then, yes, but then I think everyone was a bit like, whew, it's quite a bit of Zooming going on.
Yes. I'm zooming all day.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've taken a bit of a step back, and we've talked with. I've been keeping in touch with Petra and Amin
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the old group the
Yep.
most, and we've been talking about maybe doing a something in the park. Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes. Yes.
one of
Yes.
these one of these days.
Oh, that would
Um,
be awesome.
yeah,
And I think that's the next like wave. I'm talking about figuring out how to do something similar like that here, where you do an outdoor. The actors keep a 2 meter distance, but then people maybe are in cars and they're surrounding you in cars, and you figure a way to have it so they can hear you. But like taking that next step to go from just doing online stuff to doing stuff outdoors and see what happens. Just try it.
yeah. I went to drive-in cinema
Yeah.
for the first time in my life, and that was so much fun. I had more fun than I've ever had in the actual cinema.
Yeah. Drive-in movies are the best. And I think hopefully they're going to start making a comeback because it's going to be one of the few chances where I think you feel safe going to watch a film.
Yeah. And it's so cozy. You can just bring your pillow. The guy next to me had his pillow, and I felt such envy, such drive-in cinema envy. And oh, it was such a great experience, Jay. It was Pulp Fiction, and they made the burger the guy eats in the movie. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
see, that kind of stuff I think is some of the positives that'll come of this. We'll start innovating ways to connect and ways to have entertainment, and why not? I feel like that's a big philosophy right now to adopt, is like, why not? Let's try it, see what happens. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah, you have to start somewhere, right? And then keep improving from there.
Yeah. Baby steps. Baby steps. Where can people find you online, or if they want to follow like your improv, or if they want to connect, is like Instagram the best way? Or
I guess so. I guess that's where I post most. I'm called Literary Chops
there you are.
on Instagram. Yeah, and that comes from, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to tell you this. My Instagram handle was sort of gifted to me by a musician I love and adore from a band called Beach Slang.
Okay.
They're from Philadelphia, and after seeing them, I was so overwhelmed with emotion that I just had to write everything down. And I later put it up on the internet, and he saw it, and he just replied to me saying that I have such serious literary chops. And I was like, yep, that's,
Wow. That's awesome.
yeah, I think that's a very sort of sweet
Yes. Oh my God.
experience. Yeah.
See, that's a cool name behind your handle. Like sometimes people have these Instagram handles and it's like, oh, I don't know, like there's no story behind it, but that's an amazing story.
Hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
but that's where people can find me, and I post all sorts of stuff.
well, you are the best. You're just such a fun ray of sunshine, and watching you on stage, there's no conflict. It's just joy. You come out there, and it's even more fun off stage, having conversations and hanging out. So thanks for taking part of your day to play.
Thank you for taking part of your, was it the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, morning. Your 22-degree Celsius morning.
What a beautiful day. A beautiful day. And we will talk soon, my friend.
Yes.
You're the best.
You too, Jay.
Bye.
Take care. Goodbye.